A few people have been asking me lately how to set up a scene in Flash. I'm just going to do a quick walk cycle, really rubbish and half-assed, but yeah, essentially I'm just going to walk through it the way I do it. I know a lot of people could probably do it a lot better, but here we go. Okay, so first of all, you got your scene, you got a new scene, blah blah blah. I'm working at 12 frames per second, half of the frames it should be because I'm lazy. So yeah, make sure you set that right. You want your screen size. I'm working on 2048 by 1152, which is like double 1024 576, which is the standard screen size. But yeah, I just made it a little bit bigger because it makes it nice and clear for exporting into other programs such as After Effects and Photoshop, but most probably After Effects. Well, that's what I do anyway. Anyway, literally first off, I've just chucked in a couple of crappy sketches of key points. So I've got like this girl walking, not very good tail, left out the other like bit there because I'm lazy, but you know, once it's cropped in a scene it should look fine walking anyway. So yeah, just the key poses. So next of all, you're going to want to make a new layer. So essentially you go to the timeline, left click or right click, whatever you're using, and go to, wow, you guessed it, insert layer. And you have a new layer. I've already made one because I'm lazy, as I keep saying. So we don't need that, but yeah. And then essentially what we're going to do is just draw over the top. What I like to do is kind of have a standard size of 0.75. I just go over it in a red so I can see it nice and clear for like a rough sketch. So literally over the drawing, we're just going to go over it like this. Maybe clear it up along the way until eventually we are left with something a bit more like that. Oh yeah, in-betweens, which I haven't talked about too much. But let's go to the finished one. There she is. So yeah, this is the two images. You've got that one there, which it finishes on and goes back to. Essentially, yeah, it goes back to animation principles essentially. So you have that pose to that pose, walking, and yeah, you just have the keyframes. So yeah, it's all pretty exciting stuff. And this is kind of reference from stuff like obviously watching a lot of anime, seeing how animators have done it for that, and obviously Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams is also a very useful book, I must recommend. Though it doesn't really do much about kind of anime, but it has all the classic animation principles in there that you'll need for walk cycles as such. Another very important thing I've probably failed to mention is onion skinning. That is what's going to save your life. So obviously we have her in the same position, though we can move her along a scene in post-production. However, yeah. Essentially you have a little thing here which you want to hit. I'll just take one frame out so you can see what I'm on about. The last frame, and you just hit that button and you can see all the frames just by dragging this line here. But for example, let's go to this frame for example, and if we look at how she's moving, let's just take that off. So coming up and then back down with this left leg coming back forward. So what we're going to do is, to finish this off, just essentially draw over the same thing again, but obviously change it ever so slightly. And if you need to like look at the frames before that, then you can obviously extend that to see where the other ones are, just to make sure it's all in position. Very tedious work, but hopefully we'll get there eventually. This actually took me quite a while to do, believe it or not. But yeah, back to where we were. Yeah, so onion skinning, very useful. From this point, we're going to put in the line work. So this is where it gets fun. We're going to draw a line over it, and this is simply just drawing over. So a bit like rotoscoping. So essentially what I've done here is I've gone for the line tool, again made another layer, gone for a black line, still at 0.75, and what I like to do is, just so it doesn't get mixed up with the other layer, just do a few scribble lines, press F8, convert to symbol, type in any random jazz that comes into your head, and double click, go in, you can get rid of that now, and literally just start cleaning up these lines so you get that really clean line feel. So yeah, you're literally, I'm using a Wacom tablet for this, so it's a lot faster, but you're literally just drawing loads of vector lines over the top of your character, so it makes it all nice and neat. Well, hey, and should start to look something like that. If we go to the finished version, oh, not that far yet. Where is she? Yeah, here we go. It should start to look something like this, which is looking a lot nicer than the first drawings, as you probably just noticed. Moving on to the last part, we want something that looks all nicely coloured and lighted. So, to get it looking like this, what we do is, over the top of that, again, actually we can just do it straight onto this, making sure that we've broken apart a layer. I'll just show you how to do that. So say if you've still got it as a symbol, as such, you just want to right click and just go to this break apart. So you can literally just draw over it and you won't have any conflict with that layer. I like to use smaller lines for this, just so it doesn't get confusing. Back to the red, again, just my preference. But we want to put on some lighting. So say the light is coming from this direction. Obviously there's going to be a shadow under the arm, maybe the back of the dress, definitely in the legs. Obviously the hair needs to stand out, so just follow the contours of the hair essentially. We see shadow from the head onto the neck, and then a little colour shine in the eyes. Where do we go from here, you say? Well, if we just ignore all these lines we've just done, I'll show you a finished version. Meh. Yeah, so this is a finished version of that, and we want to start colouring it. So essentially what these lines would do, because Flash uses vector lines, we can literally just paint bucket it in. Pick any colours you like according to your colour scheme, as long as they fit. So you want to select paint bucket, just taking colours from what I've done before. You just want to fill it in where it's needed, etc, etc. Until you end up with this. And overall, should be looking like this when it's finished. I added a little hat as well because I thought it was cool. And literally, I've just, like, that doesn't change at all, it just stays on top, and I've just made it fit with their movements. So just sort of moving up and down, making sure it still looks like it's on her head. So yeah, that's essentially how it works. Well, how it works for me. I've probably missed out loads and loads of stuff, so if I have, let me know and I will fix it, or not. You can tell me how rubbish this video is and how unuseful it's been, but I hope in a way it has helped. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions for any other things that you want to see done or anything like that, yeah, give me a shout and I will see what I can do.